The Pitch, where we give MPs just 5 minutes to give us the hard sell on their ideas. This week, it's Brooke van Velden, ACT's Deputy Leader and spokesperson for Health and Foreign Affairs. It's been a big week for both. On Friday, senior reporter Connor Whitten sat down with her and asked why the party wants to scrap the Māori Health Authority before it's even got off the ground.
This health reform has put the treaty at the heart of everything, rather than putting patients and healthcare at the heart of healthcare. And so the ACT Party believes that having Health New Zealand and the Māori Health Authority is simply just divisive, and it's basing the health system on race rather than patient needs.
But 17 health organisations wrote this week directly to ACT and National supporting the Māori Health Authority. They said it will ensure everyone has the same access to good health. Are they wrong?
Well, I think they need to stick to making sure that the health system is a health system that caters for all people. What we're seeing is people getting into treaty politics rather than caring about healthcare and health outcomes for all New Zealanders.
These are their words, though. They say ensure everyone has the same access. Now, this is the Cancer Society, the Lung Foundation. These are organisations who are all about better health outcomes. Shouldn't you listen to what they have to say?
We can have better health outcomes for all New Zealanders. We need to have something that's similar to like the charter schools model that we did for education. We didn't say Māori kids have worse education, so we need to have a completely separate education system for Māori kids. We said let's give better access and choice under the system.
So charter schools is one example. Another is whānau ora. That is a by Māori, for Māori system, and it's one that ACT never opposed when it was in government. What's the difference here?
I think the difference here is that we need to recognise that we live in a multi-ethnic, multicultural society. It's not just as simple as saying things are Māori and Pākehā anymore. There are over 260 ethnicities in New Zealand with all different health needs.
So would ACT get rid of whānau ora?
We would provide access and choice under the Māori Health Authority with the Health New Zealand. We don't need it to be a separate entity. We can have better health outcomes and access and choice under this one system.
I understand that, but whānau ora is a separate system, one that you never opposed in the past. So why does that work for whānau ora and not for this?
We look at the treaty and say that all people are equal under the law. Yes, we all have equal rights. We need to have equal rights and equal access and choice under the healthcare system, and we can do that under Health New Zealand. Creating division in two separate bureaucracies is simply divisive.
Shift the focus to foreign affairs now. You're also the spokesperson for that. I want to talk about Ukraine. Is Vladimir Putin a war criminal?
In my personal opinion, he is. I mean, you just have to look at what's happening in Bucha, the terrible acts that we see, the murders of civilians, to see that is terrible what's happening in Ukraine.
So what should New Zealand be doing about that?
Well, for weeks the ACT Party has been saying that we need to send lethal aid to Ukraine to help with the war against Russia.
What does that mean? What can we offer? We are a small nation with a small military. What should we be sending to Ukraine?
We have Javelin anti-tank missiles that are currently just sitting in storage. We could send them tomorrow.
Should New Zealand expel the Russian ambassador?
It's certainly something that we should keep on the cards. I don't think the time has come for it yet. And I think we need to play a part with our neighbour Australia and actually up our defence spend to around 2%.
OK, so let's look a little bit closer to home, where China's signed a security deal with the Solomon Islands. How concerning is that?
I think it's really concerning for New Zealand. We have lived in a benign strategic environment where we haven't seen a lot of threats in the Pacific area. This is our backyard, and having China smack bang in the middle is of concern of the security of all New Zealanders.
So what do we do about it? I mean, the Solomon Islands are a sovereign nation. Shouldn't we leave these decisions to them?
We need to be having a stronger strategic partnership with our Five Eyes network, signing up to letters of support with them. We also need to be making sure that we are aligned with Australia, upping our defence spend so that we are defending our Pacific and our backyard.
Support for ACT has dramatically fallen since Christopher Luxon took over at National. You're the deputy leader. How worried are you about that?
I'm not worried at all about where the polls go. I think what we're seeing is actors out there in the community. We're listening to New Zealanders. We're putting forward better ideas and better policy solutions. Ultimately, that helps New Zealand progress and gets a better future for all New Zealanders. We hear stories every day from people who say that they support ACT and they think we're the best opposition party.
Is that drop in the polls why you're pushing this referendum on co-governance, to get that narrative back?
No, it's a question of values. We want to live in a country where every child born in New Zealand is born with equal rights and equal opportunity under the law.